And this relates back to the original topic about the economic crisis. You're all prepared for that, but to some people, they are very curious. I mean, if there's an economic crisis, why should they not be savings for the savings and money to prepare for that? Because they feel that if there is actually an economic crisis, they should stop investing, they should stop borrowing money, they should actually concentrate in putting more money into the bank so that they can live longer.
That's their, like I said, it's their values.
Yes.
To me, that's stupid. You know, to them, it's smart. There's always three sides. They think it's smart, I think it's stupid. But when you look at the coin, and you see the cash flowing from the poor and middle class to the bankers and then to the rich, it's in second chance.
Yes.
Really simple to see. So I know how to take that money and they give it to me. And guess what? Because they give it to me and I'm doing the banks a favor, I pay no tax.
That's correct.
But these guys pay tax. They pay tax on their savings and their retirements.
Yes.
It's funny.
So on top of academic educations, there are people with professional educations, but the most important that a lot of people actually forget is about the financial educations. Three elements in order for them to be fully educated.
Yeah.
And it's in Asia nowadays, after being inspired by you, a lot of the Asians actually for the past 10 years has acquired a lot of real estate because they feel that real estate is the key for them to reach financial freedom. But is that an educated investment?
No.
A lot of people...
No, they think it's real. It has nothing to do with real estate. It has to do with education. What you're doing is acquiring education or experience. See, a lot of people lose money on real estate too.
That's right. They buy to flip, right? They don't look for the...
Well, not only that, is they don't know a good deal from a bad deal.
I see.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
There's no guarantees.
Yes.
It's not just real estate. There's the number one asset that makes you rich is a business. The richest guys in the world own businesses.
That's right.
Number two is real estate. Number three is paper, which is stocks, bonds, mutual funds, ETFs. That's what the masses invest in most of all. Most retirement plans are in stocks, bonds, mutual funds, savings, ETFs, paper. And the last are commodities, like gold, silver, you know, water, food, shelter, stuff like that. So if you're going to invest in anything, then you got to invest in your education. So I don't want a job, so I had to invest in my education, how to be an entrepreneur. How do I start a company, raise the capital, and expand the money? Then the money generated from my business, how do I flow it into real estate? That's how I get rich. Real estate is debt. You see, the reason the banks give me so much money is not because of my business, but because my real estate holdings are so large, right? The banks want to give me money. They don't want to give you money for your startup.
That's right. Yeah, they need collaterals. They call that collaterals.
Or securities.
Yes.
So they love real estate. So I'm not really in real estate. I'm in debt because that's what the big banks want to give me money for is my debt. You know, they want the real estate so they can securitize it. Then they take my debt and then they securitize that debt and they sell that debt as an asset also. They're called CDOs, collateralized debt obligations, a derivative. And the average person right now has no idea what I just said. You know, they don't know what a CDO is or MBS, mortgage-backed security. You see, to the bank, debt is the asset. But to you, mom and pop, your debt is a liability. But the bank takes debt and turns it into an asset. And that's why they like me. I'm the capitalist. These guys over here are socialists and communists. You know, that's life. Which side do you want to be on?
So it must be a real estate that's bankable.
No, I'm trying to tell you it's your education that's your asset.
I see.
You know, it's financial education. I know how to borrow money.
I see.
And the average person doesn't know how to. And the reason I can borrow so much money is I know good real estate from bad real estate. And then I go to my banker. You know, the average guy cannot borrow $100 million, but I borrowed $300 million this year. And the reason I borrowed $300 million was the banks took the interest rates from 5% to 2%. You know how much money that made me?
Wow.
You know, how much money did, how much did I make?
A very good position on negotiating the rates with the bank. I don't think a normal Malaysian would do that. That's right.
And Malaysia has very loose lending laws.
Yes.
Malaysia is a great place to borrow money, by the way. But anyway, so I go to my banker and I said, well, I'll borrow more if you reduce my interest rates. The average guy goes in there, they got credit card debt, they got home loan debt, they got auto debt. Banker doesn't want to talk to them. The banker does not want your savings because your savings cost them money. They've got to give your savings, your investment money to me, who will take large chunks of it and take down, almost $1 billion worth of real estate. And they will give me great interest rates, all that, because I can borrow large chunks of it. And so it's knowledge, financial education up here that makes you rich. The average Malaysian, American, European, they buy, $1 million property. They get all excited, and then want to flip it because they don't know how to pay for it. Look at all these buildings here in London. I'd love to own all of them.
Wow.
That's how I'd like to.
Yes.
But, I'd have to go look around for a good one. There's a lot of real estate. There's a lot of real estate in Malaysia. But there's also more bad real estate than good real estate. And so it takes financial education, experience. I started really small properties. My first property was $18,000. Okay? And now just work it up, work it up, work it up, work it up, work it up. So I've been doing it for 50 years, since I was a kid. And that's how I make so much money. I don't flip from stocks to real estate to this. I know exactly my assets. I am in business. I'm an entrepreneur. I start companies. Then I hire CEOs. I don't want to run companies. Okay? And then with the profits from my companies, let's say I get $1, then I borrow $5 against that dollar.
Wow.
So I lever up 500%.
Yes.
Now, the average guy should not do that. But I tell people to start small. Start with that small house, don't sell it. Learn to operate the rental property until you get really good. Then you buy a second house. Learn to operate. As you know, every deal is different. Every deal has got different problems to it. And that's how you learn. The average guy can buy it for $1 million and want to flip it. I made $100,000.
国际理财大师 Robert Kiyosaki 对房地产有自己独特的见解。那对马来西亚的房地产趋势又有什么更直接的看法呢？下一集的点石成钻节目告诉你更多惊人的理财内幕。